You like junk wax. You love junk wax, but sometimes you're just not sure what to open, what to buy on eBay or off the internet. That's what today's podcast and video is all about. We are ranking rips. Happy Hobby, I'm Dave Gonos. If you're a sports card collector and you're working on a limited budget, that's what we do with this YouTube channel on this podcast, the Happy Hobby Sports Card Podcast, which, by the way, you can find that on iTunes or Spotify, or you can find the YouTube channel at David Gonos. That's what we talk about. And today, junk wax. It's all about junk wax. We're ranking the top 10 best junk wax boxes to rip. I say we. It's really Scott Hedrick, one of our happy hobbyists, who's been on this channel several times with his opinions in our newsletter. He's written some newsletters. This guy is heavily involved in the comments. He's a great dude. Definitely, you got to check out this article on the Happy Hobby Sports Card newsletter at gonos.substack.com. Today we're talking about the 10 best junk wax boxes because this guy, he rips them all. That's his thing. He's a junk wax junkie. He loves it. And if you ask any true sports car collector, they'll tell you that junk wax, it gets a bad rap. So it's time to figure out what the 10 best junk wax boxes to buy are, each for $100. It's around $100. We'll say it like that. It's close to $100. We'll go that route. So I'm going to be kind of reading this in Scott Hedrick's voice, if you will, because he wrote this article on our newsletter. Now, he's been writing for us for a little bit. As I mentioned, he's offered several things. But he and his brother, they just have this thing, man. They got back together over the past few years, and they decided, let's start ripping some wax and kind of like rekindling some memories of yesteryear. And so every weekend they open up some packs. They get into some junk wax, some of it earlier, some of it later. But for the most part, it's that sweet spot. It's the 80s. That's where all the great, that's where the best junk wax really is, in my opinion, especially because I was a kid in the 80s, so I'm especially fond of it. So here's what Scott has to say. He says, I was born to write this piece about junk wax cards. To this day, I absolutely can't get enough junk wax. Every single weekend, I'm opening some. You see, I have a strong fondness for vintage and modern, he says, but I love junk wax. It's that magical combination of cards that I covet and nostalgia that I crave. These are the cards and memories of my youth. Now, every now and then, I'll chime in with just my own little side comments, footnotes, if you will. And I'd like to meet the fellow who first coined the term junk wax. Because my guess is he's not a very likable guy. That's what I think. He's never had a girlfriend. Maybe he's been married several times. Let's say 7 times. Nothing between, though. It's either no girls or too many girls. I also imagine his breath smells like a jar of bad artichokes. That's the junk wax term guy. That's what I think. So back to Scott. Now, he says, I'll now attempt to set before you a list of my top 10 junk wax boxes for ripping. I have 3 simple rules I have to follow, though. The box must cost less than $100. Now, I put a caveat here. This is David speaking, because one of these boxes now costs like $110 on eBay. So it is over $110. But when Scott wrote this a few weeks ago, it was under $100. So we'll give him a break on that one. Number 2, he says, no duplicate years in a single sport. And then his third thing, in other words, he says that because he doesn't want to have, this was the best year for rookies. So it was like 4 boxes from 1985 or 1983 or something like that. He's trying to mix it up, trying to give you a taste of a little bit of everything, right? His third rule, at least one issue from all 4 of the major sports. So baseball, football, basketball, hockey is each represented here. So we're counting down the 10 best junk wax boxes to rip right now. We're going to count them down backwards because we love anticipation on this Substack. That's what we do. We'll also share the average prices for these boxes found on eBay. Now, I want to just give Scott a shout out for including hockey on this list because others would have gone the safe route. But in reality, hockey was very special during this era of the junk wax era, the 80s and early 90s. I think mostly because Wayne Gretzky moved to Los Angeles. Super Mario became a winner with the Pittsburgh Penguins. And New York had a hockey hero in Mark Messier. So I think hockey was really starting to become a much bigger deal. Gary Bettman had taken over as the commissioner, I believe, right around that era. Coming over, he was with David Stern in the NBA. Took over the NHL and kind of copied a lot of those same marketing ideas that the NBA used. Because it's similar, 80 games in the season, fall, winter, spring sport. So it made sense. So we're counting them down. The 10 best junk wax boxes. Number 10, 1994 Topps Baseball Series 1 for $60 on eBay. 1 gold card per pack. That's what it says. Those are important words were written on the pack. With a cool Future Stars card of Manny Ramirez, Hall of Famer Billy Wagner's rookie card, and the second-year floating head prospect of a certain Derek Jeter guy, this was a really underestimated issue for ripping. Number 9, 1990 Topps Baseball, again, $60 on eBay. This box is anchored by a good rookie class, including Big Hurt, Frank Thomas, Sammy Sosa, Bernie Williams, and Larry Walker. Some pretty good outfielders there. But this box had a non-zero chance to pull one of two infamous cards that weren't meant to be pulled. The George Bush Yale card and the no-name Frank Thomas error card, which put this box solidly in the fun category. Would you believe if I told you I pulled a no-name George Bush card? Huh? Huh? Okay. Number 8, 1990 Score Hockey. $25 on eBay. Even a hockey dunce like myself, Scott says, can have a blast with a box of 1990 Score. By the way, I'm a dunce as well, but I just thought I'd throw him under the bus. With all the cool subsets resulting in multiple cards of the big stars that were in this set, like Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, Mark Messier, plus plenty of awesome rookies in this set, including Martin Brodeur, Jaromir Jagr, Eric Lindros. Best value on this list, Scott says, $25 for 1990 Score Hockey. Number 7, 1991-92 Upper Deck Basketball Low Series, $60. Man, they're all $60. If I had $60 on me right now. With no less than 5 cards in the set involving Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time, not to mention multiple cards of other players from the greatest basketball team ever assembled, the 1992 Dream Team. This one comes strong, Scott says. And I haven't even said a word about the solid group of rookies, including Dikembe Mutombo, you can do that, Larry Johnson, and Stacey Augmon. I was doing the finger wag, by the way, for podcast listeners. It's kind of hard to say, explain that in a podcast, but also, there was some completely awesome award winners hologram inserts to chase, including 2 different Michael Jordan holograms. That's pretty awesome right there. Plus, 1991 Upper Deck, this is David talking, had one of my all-time favorite cards, Magic versus Michael. Beautiful, beautiful card. Very cool seeing Magic Johnson versus Michael Jordan, who he would become better friends with on the 92 Dream Team. All right, so we go back down. The next one on the list, we come to another baseball box. 1991 Bowman Baseball, $50. Oh, this one's a bargain. A Dynamite rookie class is the draw here. First-year cards of Chipper Jones, Jeff Bagwell, Ivan Rodriguez, Jim Thome, and Mike Mussina, all possible in one series or set. And that makes this one very enjoyable rip. Very cool. Number 5. Let's get some football. Let's talk some football. 1994 Fleer Ultra Football Series 1. Guess how much? I'll give you get one guess. $60, of course. This one has a lot going for it, Scott says. The all-time greats of 90s football, along with Hall of Fame rookies from The Greatest Show on Turf and Marshall Faulk and Isaac Bruce. And, of course, the 90s Ultra means you have different sweet inserts to chase. Fleer was never stingy on the inserts. They always had a lot of inserts, and they were always awesome, including the popular Touchdown Kings insert. The number 4 best junk wax box to buy. 1989 Fleer Baseball, $85. Although this one has risen in price, he says, I still believe it's potentially packed with enough possibilities and fun to overcome that price tag. This is home to a great Hall of Fame rookie class with Ken Griffey Jr., heard him, Randy Johnson, John Smoltz, and Craig Biggio. And, of course, one of the most infamous error cards of Scott's youth is possible here with the F-face Billy Ripken, along with many different cool corrected variations to chase. It never gets old, he says. Number 3, 1990 action-packed rookie update football, $60. What is happening here? Was this a typo? Were they all just sick? A small set coupled with a great rookie class is why this box ranks so highly for me, Scott says. Rookie cards of Emmitt Smith, Junior Seau, and Shannon Sharp, and the likelihood that you will pull multiples of each from a box, that's pretty hard to beat. And who doesn't love cards with texture? Now, I had chimed in at this point. I was a huge fan of 1990 action-packed all Madden team. It's just an awesome-looking card design and checklist. And the fact that it was like John Madden's all Madden team, like that's a big deal. That was in the 90s, that was a huge deal. In the late 80s, early 90s, that was a huge deal. Number 2, the number 2 best junk wax set to get, 1989 Pro Set Football Series 2, $65 on eBay. Find another fin somewhere in your laundry. Here's a partial list of rookie cards possible in Series 2 packs, which includes Series 1 cards. That's pretty awesome. Troy Aikman, Tim Brown, Chris Carter, Michael Irvin, Barry Sanders, Deion Sanders, Sterling Sharp, Derek Thomas, Thurman Thomas, and Rod Woodson. I almost ran out of fingers right then, counting them off. Enough said there. That's pretty amazing. Also, I like to chime in here. I like to meet the fella, I don't know, the guy that claims that rookie cards of players in college jerseys don't count as true rookie cards. I'd like to meet that guy. My guess is he didn't like college sports. My guess is maybe he's not too bright. My guess is he prefers watching the Gilmore Girls over the NFL draft. And my guess is his breath smells like a dirty diaper. Those are just my guesses. I don't know for sure. That's just what I think. We're down to the number 1. Best junk wax box to open, to rip, to buy. 1987 Don Russ Baseball. Now, he has it listed here for $70. I had to buy it. We bought it, did a Happy Hobby Buddy Break. This is David talking, by the way. Did a Happy Hobby Buddy Break for our Happy Hobbyists over at the Happy Hobby Sports Card newsletter. By the way, get in on that. And if you become a paid subscriber, you get a chance to buy into these breaks. Well, we did one, and we bought a box of this, and I'll tell you what, Don Russ Baseball, 1997, or 1987, it's pretty stacked. This is what Scott says. He says, now I had to pay for $110 though when I got mine, so it's more than 70 now. He says, when my brother and I got back into the beloved hobby of our youth in 2009, the first thing we did was order a case. of 1987 Donruss baseball. This is back when boxes were $20 a piece, he says. Since then, I'll bet I've gone through another couple cases total. Anyway, he says, I'll never get sick of this set. These are the larger-than-life players of my childhood. He said the box has rated rookies of Bo Jackson, Greg Maddux, Mark McGwire, and Rafael Palmeiro. That's a pretty nice list of rated rookies right there. And man, these rated rookie cards pop. The lettering on the names is in yellow, but the background of the little nameplate is in red. Man, it just jumps out. And he says regular rookie cards in this 1987 Donruss set. Barry Bonds, Will Clark, David Cone, Mike Greenwell, Wally Joyner, Barry Larkin, and Ruben Sierra. Wow. That is what junk wax is all about, right? So I chime in here. Is it too early to request a list of the top 10 junk wax era singles every collector should own in each sport? I smell the series. I really do. I don't smell dirty diapers, though. I don't smell that. But I think we're onto something here. And maybe Scott will share another article with us on the singles to buy. If you had $150, I want to know from you, dear listener and viewer, if you had $150 to spend on any combination of these junk wax boxes that I mentioned, what would you spend it on? What would you want to get? Let's say $200 since the 1987 Donruss is, it's more expensive than $110. What would you buy? I want to know. Send me an email at gonoscards@gmail.com, or you can post a comment on this video, on this YouTube video. I want to know. Let me know in the comments. Listen, I hope you enjoyed this episode. We enjoyed doing it. Whatever you do, make sure you have a happy hobby.